if you don't understand Bitcoin, then yeah, don't understand money. You feel me? Let's get into it. Boom. Look, it's your boy Zay. You hear me? I'm out there, you know, out there. They say you can't say the North, but I'm from New Orleans, you feel me? And look, I've been investing, trading, all of that for about going on 4 years now. So I know what I'm talking about. I done turned 6 bands to 10 bands and not even a full month in this bull run that we just been in. So like I said, I know what I'm talking about. I done made $280 countless times over. Well, 280 is very specific, but I've made over $200 here, $1,000 here. I had $1,000 days in the stock market, all of that good stuff. So I have mastered my investing formula, my trading formula, which is just short-term investing. So when I say this, I mean it. So you need to learn how to tap in. Oh, one more accolade. I can't help myself. One more accolade. Yeah, so I called the bottom of Bitcoin in 2022. But anybody that jumped in, when I jumped in with other people, with a 5x their money based on the bull run we're in now. So now I digress. Let's get into the video, man. So why is Bitcoin so important? Why do people talk about Bitcoin? A lot of people think Bitcoin is hacker money. A lot of people think Bitcoin is scams and it's going to go to zero, and or just a lot of people don't understand Bitcoin in general. To make this simple for the average investor, Bitcoin is simply digital gold. How the gold rush happened when everybody was going all to California, shake your pants, selling shovels, pickaxes, all that. The Bitcoin is literally the gold rush of the internet. That's all it is, right? And it's crazy because it's so similar. They have something called blockchain, right? And this is what makes Bitcoin so important. Well, this is one of the many factors that make Bitcoin so important. So Bitcoin is a store of value on the blockchain, right? The blockchain is a super secure, super secret, super private. No, actually, it's the opposite of secret. Everybody can see what's going on the blockchain. It makes it very transparent. So a couple shady bankers or, you know, can't hide certain data. Everybody can see the data. Everybody can see what this address sent money to, and what that address sent money to, and what that address sent money to. Everybody can see everything on a blockchain, right? But what the blockchain is a block of data, right? So all of the data associated with transactions, etc., is in this block, and they're chained together and it makes a link, right? So long story short, it just shows you a paper trail. That's all a blockchain is. It's a block with a chain that shows a paper trail of what's going on in the Bitcoin world, right? So it is decentralized. What decentralized mean is that basically it's not controlled by one bank. So when you go to Capital One Bank, you can only deal with Capital One Bank within that bank. Obviously outside of transferring your money or whatever, but you get your credit cards with that bank and you have to answer to them people. The higher up it goes, like the more you have to answer to those people. But with blockchain is decentralized, so you don't have to answer to one figure. You answer to the entire community. And you're not necessarily answering, but y'all all come together to form a community of trust, right? And it's all automatic. And like y'all, like, you know, making a Sunday brunch and millions of people coming together at the Starbucks, you feel me, sipping on a caramel ribbon crunch, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Caramel, yeah. Hey, the caramel frappe from McDonald's hit a little harder, but I digress. Back to the, you know, so the craziest similarity, like off the rip, which is nothing like profound, but when you're mining, yes, you're mining for Bitcoin with computers. So like the gold rush, like physical gold that happened back when everybody was going to Cali and all that, the Oregon Trail or whatever. That might be two different times, two different time periods, but I don't care. It's all the same thing. Everybody went west, no matter what. So people are literally mining for Bitcoin, but digitally mining for Bitcoin, right? But the thing about that is there is only so much Bitcoin. There is 21 million. If I'm not mistaken, but we can double check this if we actually, I'm gonna put up the charts for y'all right quick, because I stay looking at charts. Let's boom. Oh my God, I didn't pick, okay, all right, great. Is there 21 million Bitcoin? It's not 21 billion. Roughly, they're roughly about 1 million. Yeah, should be mine out of total. Oh wow, so there's only about 1 million of Bitcoin left. And they say the final Bitcoin, not interested, the final Bitcoin estimated to be mined around 2140. So we won't mine the last Bitcoin until everybody is not even here anymore, right? Which is kind of a sad sight to see. We won't see the last Bitcoin get mined. But hey, we know there's only 21 billion Bitcoin, meaning that somebody's grandkid or great-grandkid or maybe great-great-grandkid going to be around and see the last Bitcoin get mined. Long story short, it's a limited supply, which means that the price will continue to go up because it's a limited supply, but the demand will continue to increase, right? And I'm glad I actually pulled up the chart because we can look at BTC USD, which is just basically the Bitcoin compared to the dollar. And obviously, just if you know anything about Forex or whatever, whenever you have something compared to the other one, that means this first one, if it's going up, that means the Bitcoin is being stronger than the dollar. So I'm on a 1 minute time frame. That's not going to be very helpful. When we go to the 1 week time frame, we set the chart view. As you can see, over time, Bitcoin has been getting stronger and stronger and stronger versus the dollar, which means automatically we can see just off this chart alone that it is a good hedge to inflation. Zay, what the hell is inflation? So inflation is when there's so much supply of money that goods and services go up in price, which means that pretty much the only people that benefit off of inflation is businesses. So for the working, the average working guy, sorry to, because I mean, hey, most of us were all there. Any new millionaires and all that, we was all once at that point where, you were working. Most of us now. Not most of the millionaires now are not trust fund babies. Actually, most of the millionaires got it out the mud. So shout out to all y'all that got out the mud. But inflation. So basically with inflation, the only people that are going to benefit is businesses, right? So since businesses are going to be the only people that benefit from inflation, everybody else that's working on a fixed income is going to suffer. But Bitcoin, as we can look at this chart right here, Bitcoin is going to be one of the things that can help us, right? So you might be wondering, why can Bitcoin help us against inflation outside of seeing this chart? There's a limited supply of Bitcoin, but they can endlessly continue to print money over and over and over and over and over. Not only that, but I have a super secret investing method that I only show to my private group. If you want to join, link in bio. That I only show to my private group. But I will give y'all a nice demonstration. I'm going to use something like the Bollinger Bands to give y'all a demonstration, right? So I'm going to quickly pull up the Bollinger Bands. I'm going to pull up the Bollinger Bands 1. And then, actually, I'm going to show y'all this. So I'm going to put the Bollinger Bands 1. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the price channels. Price channels. All right, boom. Now let me show y'all all right, this looks like a lot, but it's not about to be a lot. Actually, I'm gonna turn off my other stuff too. All right, so we're gonna do Bollinger Bands, real nice and simple. We're gonna do a 200 lint. We're gonna take off the base. We can delete the base. We're gonna take off the upper, take the background. I'll take the upper off. And then we're gonna also come over to this price channel here. We're gonna take off the lowers. We're gonna leave the higher price on. Leave that at orange, right? Okay, so basically, I'm put on a 200. So 200. Boom. Okay. All right. So basically, what we're looking at here is called. Oh my God. This is called the ping pong of investing. So with the ping pong of investing, basically what you're going to do is every time you see the price come into this basis or below the basis, you start buying up the price of Bitcoin, and then it goes to the all-time highs, and then you trail your profit or you trim your profit at all-time highs. Then it falls back down to your basis. You start buying it here. The lower it get, let's say for instance, if I was to come up with an investing rule, once we got into this point, I would buy, let's say, 10% a week, 1% a day, however frequently you want to invest. So let's just say 10% a week. Every week we're under this blue line. If we touch this green line, I invest 20%, something like that, right? That's similar to what I do, but not exactly what I do. That's weird. This is super weird. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. What is going on with this chart? Okay. Hold up. No. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. Let's look at this. I don't know. That's weird. This is super weird. Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's weird. But anyways, that's not a good example. I don't like that. You know, a Bollinger Band's making me mad at it. I don't like that. But basically, so this is called the ping pong of investing. So long story short, you buy down in here and you ride it back up, and as you can see, you pretty much make money if you basically dollar cost average under the blue line, and then you trim profit when you hit all-time highs. It's a working investing strategy. As you can see, it's been working the entire time. I might be asking why, because it's not so much the strategy that even matters when investing or with trading. The strategy does not matter if you do not buy the right asset, right? So a lot of people be like, man, XRP or man, Ethereum or man, this or man, that. Man, last time I checked Ethereum, has not been performing that good. I mean, I should put up ETH/USD, but Ethereum just kind of had its random little pop. But we want to be buying stuff that we know is guaranteed to make us money, right? And Ethereum, I'm not so guaranteed in. You gotta know a lot about the project. I know that Bitcoin has a worldwide adoption, a global adoption. So I'm gonna put my money where the entire globe is putting their money at. I'm not gonna be putting my money at where certain people, and you know, if you want to be playing that game, I should recommend you meme coin trading, right? Now, a lot of people hold Bitcoin and ETH and feel like ETH is going to give you a better return. The thing about rich people, dog, when we come to rich people, millionaires, people that make 100K a month, $1 million a month, even if you're making up, let's say 50K a month, you want to park your money where it's safe, because a lot of people are like, hey man, it's already hard making money, but it's even harder keeping money. So you want to be putting your money in assets that you know are not going to erode away that all the money you worked hard for. So that's why we invest in stuff like Bitcoin and, you know, high quality investments, right? High quality stock investments, high quality crypto investments, right? So this is a simple strategy that I don't use, obviously, because you can see this is nasty, just look like goop dripping off the thing. But that's pretty much the investing side, right? So now if we actually come back to me, you feel me, and we talk about basically why is Bitcoin the future, right? So like I said, Bitcoin offers you security. It offers you decentralization, which means the entire community owns it, right? It offers you, like I said, a hedge against inflation, and it's just secure, right? So I said one of those twice, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to drive one of those points home. You feel me? So at the end of the day, Bitcoin will be the future of money, right? Because we're going to be moving over into the digital age, right? So as you can see, people don't even carry cash with them no more. A lot of people we swiping cards left and right, swiping cards left and right. People don't even carry cash with them no more. So Bitcoin transactions will be very important because, for instance, like when you're buying and selling stuff, you're not taxed on it. You're not taxed on it. Maybe the government might find a way to tax you in the future or whatever, but you're not technically taxed until you pull it out of the Coinbase account, right? And even then, again, they can't really tell. Like, say for instance, if you traded in your Exodus wallet and you, let's say for instance, you turn 10K to 100K of a Bitcoin, they don't know how you got that Bitcoin technically. Now, I don't know. I'm not a tax professional. Please consult a tax professional. But I just want to let you know that, I mean, at the end of the day, you can make your money. You can create businesses off Bitcoin. There's so much more you can do with Bitcoin that people haven't even explored yet. You can create crypto AI businesses, which I'm looking at. So much stuff you can do, but it's a good store of value. It actually has phenomenal returns. Bro, Bitcoin returns are phenomenal. The compounded annual growth rate is about 60%, which is the some people call it the KGR, CAGR, not the KG, but CAGR, whatever. But to compound at 60% on average a year, meaning if you put $1 million in, you made $600,000 for the year. Compared to stocks, is only making you about, off that $1 million, making you about about 80 to 100,000. So you're talking about a return of 80 to 100,000 from stocks compared to 600,000 a year from Bitcoin. I don't know how else to advocate for the fact that if you do not understand Bitcoin, you do not understand money. But I can take it even further. If you do not understand Bitcoin, then you won't have any money. That's really the point it's going to get down to at the end of the day. So, like I said, if you want to learn more about this, if you want to learn how to invest in a Bitcoin, if you want to learn how to trade Bitcoin or trade meme coins for that, if you want to just learn more about Bitcoin in general, whatever the case is, man, you need to tap into my private group or tap into my course where I make you a market master when it comes to investing into crypto. So that's pretty much it, man. Everything's in the link in the bio. Or if you just want free games, stick around for the channel. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.